read together with Standing Orders number 194-2C, which mandates the House committees to prepare programs and activities to be undertaken each fiscal year. The Committee on Labor and Social Welfare Services prepared its annual for the financial year 2023-2024, detailing activities to be undertaken during the said financial year. Amongst them was the benchmarking exercise with its counterpart committee of the Migori County Assembly. Following approval by the Liaison Committee, the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kisumu consequently authorized the committee to undertake its benchmarking exercise with its sister committee of the Migori County Assembly to enable the two committees share experience and challenges. The committee undertook its benchmarking exercise from October 27th to 1st November 2023. The committee prioritized several areas for the benchmarking exercise with its counterparts on the areas of county social welfare services and county human resource planning, public service board. In ensuring the welfare of its residents, the county government of Migori has put in place bursary programs to support education, the governor's grant scheme for assisting vulnerable groups, a child policy which in coordination with the Ministry of Interior ensures all children go to school, gender-based violence desks and orphanage homes. To ensure best fit between employees and jobs while avoiding manpower shortages or surpluses under human resource planning, Migori County has in place the human resource policy, the training policy, and the audit payroll whose recommendations have been implemented. There is also amicable working relations between the Committee on Labor and the trade unions in Migori County through a formidable engagement framework. Madam Speaker, it is also important to note that in Migori County Assembly, the Labor Committee is a sectoral committee, whereas in Kisumu County Assembly, the committee is a select committee, even though both committees perform similar mandates. From the benchmarking, the committee recommends the following, Madam Speaker. Number one, the Kisumu County Assembly Committee on Labor and Social Welfare Services should be a sectoral committee owing to its mandates of oversighting all matters relating to labor, trade unions, relations, manpower or human resource planning, gender, social welfare, and National Youth Service and the Public Service Board. On number two, there is need for collaborative but distinct relationship between the Committee on Labor and Public Service Board, State Department of Labor, and indeed other organs of the county executive by resolving issues of labor disputes through intensive engagements and constant dialogue. On number three, Madam Speaker, that a child policy is important and should provide for, among others, an enabling infrastructure and bursary. There should also be coordination with the Interior Ministry to ensure that every child goes to school. For example, there is need for a 24-hour hotline for reporting child labor and neglect, a children's office specifically designated for cases of child abuse and neglect, and also partnership with other child-based organizations on advocacy against early pregnancy, child abuse, and child labor. On item 4, the County Assembly should ensure that the County Executive give tender priorities to the low-cadre organized groups as per the AGPO guidelines. This will go a long way in boosting local revenue and motivating low-cadre workers in both formal and informal sectors. On item number 5, Madam Speaker, that the experience with degrading activities against women for fish is a complex issue which requires a multi-sectoral approach pegged on economic empowerment and financial independence for women. The county executive should initiate viable interventions to assist and empower women in the fish industry. Finally, policies and structures are critical in any vibrant and developing institutions Therefore, both the county assembly and the county executive need to periodically undertake payroll audits and review HR, human resource and training policies for the betterment of Kisumu County government. Madam Speaker, the committee wishes to thank the officers of the Speaker and the Clerk of Kisumu County Assembly for the support extended to it in coordination and facilitation of the exercise. The committee also extends gratitude to its members and the Secretariat for working tirelessly throughout to make the whole exercise successful. The committee in a special way wishes to appreciate Kisii County Assembly for utmost cooperation and the warm reception accorded to it during the visit. It is therefore my honor and privilege, Madam Speaker, on behalf of the Trade, Tourism, Marketing, Culture Committee, to move this motion before this Honorable House for
point of order, Madam Speaker.
What point of order is it, Honorable Maurice Ngeta?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise on a standing order number 33. Madam Speaker, number 33(1). If any time after the chair when the committee, the county assembly or committee or the committee member object that there is not a quorum present in the speaker of in the presence of the speaker or any chairperson shall count the county assembly in the committee as the case may be. Madam Speaker, I want to acknowledge members who are here, and I want to remind you, because I know the chair is always blind, and members are always right or they might be wrong. But in this case, understanding order number 33(1), I stand guided. If any member can rise on his or her feet and tell me if there is a quorum in this afternoon session to turn and challenge me. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Honorable Ngeta, we have the Deputy Majority Whip in the House, so I'll give her the opportunity to confirm if we really have quorum in the House.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm the Deputy Majority Whip, and I confirm quorum is there because Honorable Ngeta is feeling unwell and he needs to go to the hospital. So we have quorum in the House.
Understanding order 89. Madam Speaker, can the... Yeah.
Take back your seat. We already have the Deputy Majority Whip already confirmed that we have quorum in the House, so we'll go on with the business. Honorable Mildred Ajumbo, can you please go ahead?
Madam Speaker, there should be a statement of fact. Madam Speaker, under statement of fact 89. No, are you sick? Are you sick?
Madam Speaker, let the Deputy Whip confirm to us that how many members are in this House, Madam Speaker. Just count one by one and tell us. And if we have enough quorum, just tell me how many members are supposed to be in the floor, on the floor when the session is on.
Honorable members, Honorable Ngeta,
take this House for granted, Madam Speaker. Let's not take this House for granted. Let no member come and sacrifice his time or her time for the rest of other members, Madam Speaker. Yes.
Honorable members, that is why we have the leadership in the House, and that is the work of the Majority Whip. And since she's already confirmed that we have quorum in the House, we have to go on with the business. Yes, Honorable Dede.
Yes, Madam Speaker, as a rejoinder of what Honorable Ngeta says, a quorum of a third of 48 should be 16. If you can confirm that if you are 16, we can proceed with the proceedings. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Kennedy Ajwang.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, is it in order for honorable member to debate on a matter that you have ruled on?
It is not in order. So, honorable members, I don't know whether we still need the induction because we keep on going back to the debating on a ruling made by the Speaker. And I think we are going on the wrong we are taking the wrong direction. Because we cannot keep on debating on ruling made by the chair. I already made a go-ahead to Honorable Mildred Ajumbo.
Madam Speaker, kindly allow me to differ.
Honorable Ngeta, unless you are the majority whip.
I rose on standing order number 33, of which my colleague senior Honorable Dede stood on a standing order number 89. On a point of fact, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, can the majority whip confirm to this House how many members are in this House, Madam Speaker? Let's not just joke around, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Ngeta, I don't know whether you're the majority whip because it is the majority whip to confirm the quorum in the House according to our standing orders. I think we know that very well. Unless you are the majority whip, and I don't know.
No, I'm not a majority whip, but as a statement of fact, Madam Speaker, we need to guide the majority whip, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we are seniors in this House. We are not just newcomers in this House. We know the procedure of this House, Madam Speaker, the rules and procedures, Madam Speaker. And this is the House of Order.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Whip up.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I count members and there are 16. That is the quorum. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Go ahead, Honorable Mildred Ajumbo, and move the motion.
Point of thank you, Madam Speaker.
I'm not giving anyone any more chance to debate on this. I've already made a ruling, and we have the chair, we have the representative of the
Madam
left.
Speaker, kindly give me a chance. Kindly, Madam Speaker.
Yeah. Is it anything else apart from the ruling I've just made?
Madam Speaker, kindly give me a chance to say a word.
Do you want to debate on the ruling I've just made?
Yes, kindly.
No, please. A chance to debate on any ruling? Honorable Nyaoke, take back your seat. Take back your seat. I've already made a ruling.
No, not on that ruling, Madam Speaker. Not on that ruling. I'm going to be very specific on the standing order, Madam Speaker.
Yes, go ahead.
If you allow me to proceed. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm standing here on a point of order number 89, statement of fact, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you know, as the presiding speaker, this House is being broadcasted live, Madam Speaker. It is being broadcasted live, and I really do not want or wish to go against the suggestion of the Chief Whip, Deputy Chief Whip. But Madam Speaker, when it comes to a point that it has been raised by an experienced member, senior member, who is also very much aware of the procedures of this House, Madam Speaker, I only beseech the Deputy Chief Whip also to take this opportunity and to accept that the statement of fact is indeed that we are not the number that she's talking about.
Honorable Nyaoke, I already made a ruling, and you said you're not going to stand on an order to debate on my ruling.
I'm just trying to save ourselves from this kind of scenario that...
Thank you. Thank you. Take your seat.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for listening to me.
Take back
Thank
your
you.
seat. Honorable Bongeta, I'm not giving you a chance. I'm not giving you a chance.
We had a scenario where the paper was supposed to be laid and was not laid due to lack of members of the
Honorable
particular
Bongeta,
community.
you're becoming unruly. Sergeant.
So when members
You're
of
becoming
our community are
unruly.
not here, Madam Speaker, let's just...
You're becoming unruly. And I'll rule you out of order. Honorable Mildred Ajumbo, please go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I was reading a report on labor and social welfare services on their benchmarking exercise in Migori County. And I was just coming to the conclusion. Let me conclude again, since there's been so much noise and the report has been diluted by the noise. I want to repeat the conclusion. The committee wishes to thank the officers of the Speaker and the Clerk of Kisumu County Assembly.
A point of information, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to guide member on the floor that here we are not making noise. We are debating. If you cannot debate, let not call other members from noise makers. We are not noise makers, Madam Speaker. Let it be clear, and let the member apologize, withdraw and apologize. We are not making noise in this house. And Madam Speaker, let us not misguide this house, Madam Speaker. This house of rules and orders, Madam Speaker. And this is the arm of government, another arm of government in this county, Madam Speaker. Let us not just take business of this house. Madam Speaker, I'm not in that. I'm not in that. Madam Speaker, let's stop this business and transact this business when there is enough members in this house. We are not enough to transact business of today, Madam Speaker. I rest my case.
Okay. Honorable Bongeta, you're a senior member of the House, and you've just mentioned that these are House of Rules and Order. I don't know who gave you the permission to talk. Because you just stood up and started talking. So I want to imagine if any member just stands up and just talks, how would the House be? Let us be members of order. So I'll let Honorable Mildred Ajumbo continue with her presentation.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to apologize if there was a slip of tongue in my tongue, and I said people are making noise. I apologize. I withdraw the signature. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the committee wishes to thank the officers of the Speaker and the Clerk of Kisumu County Assembly for the support extended to it in coordination and facilitation of the exercise in Migori. The committee also extends gratitude to its members and the Secretariat for working tirelessly throughout to make the whole exercise successful. The committee in a special way wishes to appreciate Kisii County Assembly for utmost cooperation and the warm reception according to it during the visit. It is therefore my honor and privilege on behalf of the Trade, Tourism, Marketing, Culture Committee to move this motion before this Honorable House for consideration. I would like to call Honorable to second, Honorable Oiko Pete to second.
Madam Speaker, Oiko Pete is at a loss. She's praising Kisii County Assembly. She's talking of Trade Tourism Committee, yet this was Labour Committee. Mixed up of the report, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Sorry, Madam Speaker, that was a slip of the tongue. Madam Speaker, I wish to apologize to Honorable Oiko Pete. I had intended to call Honorable Basso, and my tongue slipped and called the name of Oiko Pete, Honorable. I'm very sorry for that slip of the tongue. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Peter Basso. Okay. Honorable members, Now that the report by the Labor and Social Welfare Committee on the benchmarking exercise in Migori County has been presented and seconded as per standing orders, I want to propose that this report by Labor and Social Welfare Committee on the benchmarking exercise in Migori County is now open for debate. Yes, Honorable Millicent Omuya.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm standing to put my voice on this report, but I might end up not doing that because when it started, it was a Migori benchmarking. And when it is ending, it is a Kisii benchmarking. Unless some clarity is made to me, then we shall be in a position of knowing what we are dealing with. Thank you so much.
Yes, Honorable Maurice.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise again to disassociate myself with the report, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the report that has been read by one of our own member, Honorable Jumbo, Madam Speaker, is just a half-baked report. No tail, no head, no point in that report, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it's shame when a member of this House can stand and read such a scanty report before this House, and we are being broadcast live, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let the committee go and redo their report properly and come on the floor and read a proper report, a well-prepared report, not such kind of half-baked report, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I wonder when one of the super ladies in this House, we call the super lady, can be misled by his chair to read such kind of. Madam Speaker, I'm really disappointed. I'm really disappointed, Madam Speaker. And that's why I said we are not ready to continue and transact the business of the day, Madam Speaker. Otherwise, I disassociate myself with the report. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Benson Adega of Kajulu Ward.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm a member of the said committee, Madam Speaker, but during that benchmarking, I was outside the country. And also, Madam Speaker, I want to inform this House, there's something which we discussed when we were in Nairobi, that the clerks and sergeant at arms should be taken for training, for further training. Because what I'm seeing there is just a typing error, Madam Speaker. If the typing error can be done like that, proofreading should be done properly when bringing a report before this House, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if you can direct, let them take it back for proper typing, proofreading, and then bring the report to the House. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Peter Obaso.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I think benchmarking reports are meant so that county government shares ideas. And from this report, we can compare ourselves with Migori County, which was the case study in this matter. And I feel that we should not be in any malice in this report. So I don't see any problem with us passing this report. So I feel that we should adopt it so that it goes to the next stage. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support.
Yes, Honorable Regina Kizito.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to say something about this report. When the Labour Committee went to Migori for benchmarking, they found out that in Migori County, they have the gender-based violence desk. And so it is written here that in Migori County, appointments by governor is strictly in adherence to 2/3 gender rule and does not discriminate anybody or any group, and especially those in public employment. Additionally, the county has established gender-based violence desks designated in key offices within the county to address issues of gender rights and affirmative action programs in line with the Constitution. The Office of the First Lady coordinates and supervises the implementation of the gender mainstreaming in the county. So, I expected the committee to include this in their recommendation. Since in Kisumu County, we don't have gender-based desks in every ward. I expected the committee to also include this in their recommendation, but it's so unfortunate that it was not included. And yet we have female MCS who have signed here, and they were also present when this report was being written. So kindly let the Labour Committee put that into consideration, because we are also here to fight for the rights of the women. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Bill Oliver.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to debate on the document that we have. Madam Speaker, if you look at the report, we have a lot of issues that the report addresses. Madam Speaker, in our country now, Kenya, we are discussing ghost workers. And some of them who are not ghost workers, we have people who are employed, but they don't have the qualifications. Either they cooked certificates or something of the sort. And if you look at the recommendations that we have here, Madam Speaker, there's that one recommendation that I like that is telling us that we should have that periodic audit so that it helps. We don't have such issues. So, Madam Speaker, as I support, I realize that even Kisumu County, yet to be confirmed, yesterday when we were debating, you saw something similar. We are looking for somebody who is employed by Kisumu County Assembly, and we don't know the whereabouts. So this is something that is ailing this country. And if our report has that from what they went to do in the benchmarking, they went to Migori, I think that is something commendable. But in as much as I support this report, Madam Speaker, I want to note something that is a trend, something that has been continuing to happen in this assembly. Realize that we have very good reports, but then in these reports you find errors that need not to be there. I'm saying this because apart from this report, there's a report we brought here some time back about Kibuye, and you realize that whoever was making that report did some mistakes, that if you look at the mistake, you realize that this is a mistake that is there by design. So I don't want to say this is the case here, but we need to take our clerks to some induction so that we don't have issues arising like the one we've just had. Because if you look, we have a very good report, but everybody is just debating about the bad, the messes that are there in the report. So, Madam Speaker, with those few remarks, I support.
Yes, Honorable Tom Nyaoke of North Nyakach Ward.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Going by the mood of the House, I wish to call upon the mover to reply. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Mildred Ajumbo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the mover is here replying. First, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate all the members who participated negatively, positively. Even the negative comments are also good comments. I want to appreciate Honorable Ngeta for rejecting the report, and it is his constitutional right to reject the report. And I also want to correct Honorable Ngeta that in this house, we do not call people super ladies or supermen. I'm Honorable Mildred Ajumbo. I also want to appreciate Honorable Ngeta for having been very tough this afternoon. And he almost made my report, the report of Labour Committee, not to be read, just because his friend, the chairman, Honorable Zach Okoyo, is not here, and also the vice chair, majority leader. So I think we will sort it out with Honorable Ngeta once I get out of this place. I also want to appreciate Honorable Obaso for his contribution. And Honorable Obaso has said that he has seen in the report there's quite a lot of comparison between Kisumu County Labour Committee and the Migori County Labour Committee. And I also want to say that in my reading, I did not read the entire report. I was using the moving notes. So when, at the end of the day, this report was posted, and I gave Honorable Ikopete the hard copy so that he can go through it. That is quite detailed. This report is quite detailed. Even if you read it, you look at very good recommendations from the committee that I read. I want to appreciate Honorable Regina for talking on behalf of the women and realizing it is captured. Some of the things in Migori County Assembly Labour Committee. And I want to appreciate her point on gender-based violence desks that is in Migori County, and also implore that we have the same in Kisumu County. On 2/3 gender rule on employment in Migori County, I want to also agree with my sister, Honorable Regina, that yes, that is an observation that she actually saw. Finally, I want to appreciate Honorable, not forgetting Honorable Adega for his contribution, and Honorable Bill for also highlighting the importance of having periodic audit of payroll register and giving an example of the statement that was read yesterday by Honorable, our Chief Whip yesterday. And even the members that never contributed, Madam Speaker, I want to also just say thank you very much. I know you support the report. And I implore all members, Madam Speaker, that you support this report so that we can move forward. And also, I thank you for listening. Thank you.
Honorable members, and now that the report by the Labour and Social Welfare Committee on the benchmarking exercise in Migori County has been presented, seconded, and debated, and it's time for me to propose a question. And I propose that as many as of the opinion that the report on the benchmarking exercise by the Labour and Social Welfare Committee on the benchmarking exercise in Migori County be adopted, say aye.
Aye.
And as many as of the contrary opinion say nay, and the ayes have it. And the report by the Labour and Social Welfare Committee on benchmarking exercise in Migori County has been adopted today, Thursday, the 30th of May, 2024, at 15:23 hours. And I direct that the report, together with the answered report, be submitted to the various departments for purposes of implementation. Next order, clerk.
Thank you, Speaker and honorable members. There is no any other business to be considered.
There being no any other business for consideration, this House stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 4th of June, 2024 at 2:30 p.m.